Welcome to a Trekzone Conversation. Matt Miller with you. I'm very excited to have today's guest back. I can't believe it was January, the last time he was here. He's got an update for a treasure of the ages, the latest Star Trek fan film. Mr. Nick Cook is standing by in London. He's going to have a chat right after the opener.
Beaming around the world across Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts and YouTube, this is the 8th season of the Trekzone Conversation with Matt Miller.
And as I pop my headphones on, I can say, G'day Nick, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Really good, really good. Thank you very much for joining us as we continue a bit of an impromptu fan films done right fortnight here at Trekzone.
Hey, I'm glad to be back again. I don't know about whether any of my fan films are done right. People would argue that point, I suspect. But we try. Unfortunately, we are on video, so you can see my office is a particularly messy space. Yeah, you know, I did think about trying to hide it. I didn't bother. I'm messy creative. It's nothing new.
It's where the magic happens, Nick.
Let's not go into that too deeply. To be honest, I think the magic happens in a lot of other people's workspaces, like Sam Cockings or John Carling or Leo Tierney or Steve Hammond or, you know, any of the people, you know, Lee, who used to do our effects as well. Any of these guys that used to do all of Lee Andrew. I've not spoken to him in a while. He's not online anymore, so I've kind of fallen out of touch with him. But you know, all these guys that actually, Dylan Feeney, who's doing score and sound mix for us, Tony Raymond from Starship Excelsior, who's been doing sound effects for us. These are the guys that kind of really do the magic. I just kind of throw stuff at them and say, please do this, and they do it. So I can't take an awful lot of credit for that. I think these guys deserve a lot of the credit for the stuff they do.
Of course, you do write the fan films and star in them, so it is this big collaborative effort, and this is what I mean by fan films done right. It's a group of fans getting together for nothing more than having a bit of fun and having fun.
Yeah, I think that is very true. I mean, certainly, I would like to think we have fun. It's not always fun. Sometimes it's very hard work. And sometimes we're probably considered to be quite mad. But, you know, at the end of the day, we enjoy it. We enjoy the end result. We enjoy getting together. There's a lot of camaraderie on these shoots. Sometimes a little bit short tempers, but, you know, creative people. And things are stressful when you're trying to do a lot of work in a short time, especially dealing with Scottish weather and, you know, other stresses, not having a lot of resources, not having enough people to do certain jobs. It can be difficult, but I think, and I've discussed this with a lot of the cast and crew on a number of occasions, and you also say, yeah, it's often hard work and it's often stressful, but they really enjoy the end results and they enjoy seeing the films. I was just speaking to some of the staff, some of the cast on, what were we on, Skype or Google Meet last night, and we were looking at some of the scenes from A Treasure for the Ages, and they were really happy to see them kind of finish with sound effects and color correction and visual effects and score in place, and it was nice for them to be able to see that and for me to show them that. So it's very much worth it in the long run, but in the short term, it often feels like a lot of work and a lot of stress for everybody concerned.
Now, of course, you're back today because A Treasure for the Ages is coming very, very soon. It's your latest project. And I wanted to just check in on that because I believe, was production all done before COVID, or have you sort of had to work in with that?
Absolutely. It was all done before COVID. Our plan originally was to have this ready for a screening at Edinburgh Comic Con back in April. Obviously, with all the COVID stuff happening, Edinburgh Comic Con was postponed. It's now been cancelled until next year, so that hasn't happened. We were kind of rushing to get a version of it ready for April because we got plenty of notice that Comic Con was not going to happen in April. We kind of said, look, let's not rush this. Let's kind of slow it down, take the time we need to get it done as good as well as we can. So at the moment, the sound work is done, the visuals are done. I'm fairly happy that the color correction is locked. I've been looking at that again today. Dylan is working on the end title theme, and he is doing the final sound mix. I have a few lines that I need to ADR over the next few days. that are a little bit noisy on the audio track at the moment. So discussed it with Dylan and said, look, we'll go and we'll ADR those. There's a few of my lines, a couple of Lucy's lines, easy enough for us to do because, we live together. So we can do those. Thankfully, everybody else's lines are more or less workable. We could hold off a little bit longer. We'll see what happens. We'll see when Dylan's got the final sound mix done. But I expect we will probably be releasing it, if not in the summer, early autumn. So maybe by August.
Can you give us a little tease of what this one's going to be about?
Mm-hmm. I always find this one a little hard to sum up, but I'm not very good at doing summaries in the first place. So I am one of these people that tends to second guess what they do and worry about things they've done, and things from years ago will come back and haunt me in the middle of the night and that kind of thing. So this story is really about something that comes back to bite Hunter in the ass, or maybe not bite him in the ass, but something that's haunting him for years. He has an opportunity to revisit this event from his younger years earlier in his career, where he feels that he made a mistake and somebody else was harmed because of it. So he gets a chance to revisit that and maybe make amends for what he feels was a mistake of his. And it doesn't quite unfold the way he expects, but I think it's quite a nice story. I'm very happy with the way it's come together, and I think it's kind of one of the best films we've done so far. Maybe that's faint praise. I don't know. Some people might say that's a very low bar. They may be right, but I'm very proud of this one. I think everybody's done a really good job. We try, as per usual, we were filming under some challenging conditions. Scottish weather's never super cooperative. And the spot we're filming, most of this is exterior based, although there's a couple of scenes in a local monastery, and then there's some other scenes aboard. If people are familiar with the story of Captain Scott and the Discovery itself is birthed in Dundee, and we actually filmed a scene aboard the Discovery.
Wow.
The company that looks after the Discovery, the charity that looks after Discovery, were very, very generous in letting us film aboard there, and very helpful, and did not charge us for using the space, did not charge us for their time.
Excellent.
They were just really, really enthusiastic and really helpful. And I think the scene we have aboard there it's nice. It's nice. And you get a lot of production quality from filming in a space like that. So I'm very proud of the film. Like I say, some people will hate it, some people will go nah, and some people will, I hope, enjoy it. But I think I can speak for everybody involved that we are very proud of how this has turned out. I think it's a good example of a fan film. No one's going to try and claim it's the best Star Trek ever, or it matches up to any of the actual CBS shows or Paramount shows or whoever you want to go by. But we're proud of it. We think it's a good story, and yeah, I'm looking forward to releasing it. I'm looking forward to seeing how people respond to it.
Well, the very exciting thing for me is that you've brought the opening scene to today's show, and I think I was along the lines of going to play it as some overlay here as we were talking, but I think what I'm going to do instead is roll it now so people can check this out as we're talking about it and really get a whet appetite for this one to come.
We all have demons, moments that shape who and what we become. Eklund's world was one of mine. Planetary Flying Dutchman. At first, it was just a mystery I couldn't resist. Later, it became a promise. Now, a smart man recognizes the line between obligation and obsession. A wise one knows better than to cross it. But I'm neither. And one way or another...
Transporter room to Captain Hunter. Away team standing by.
On my way. It was time to put that particular demon to rest.
There is a known known error in the visual effects on this scene, by the way, which a few people have pointed out to me already. We know it's there. It's a problem. We couldn't get it fixed. Sam couldn't get this particular problem with the mesh sorted, so he just kind of went with it. Again, it's one of those things. Sam was donating his time for free. We weren't going to push and say no. And to be honest, the mesh he used was just perfect for this shot. It's got this one problem with it, but otherwise, any other meshes we could have used for the shot, I don't think would have worked as well. So I think it's a good compromise. It's actually a really lovely opening shot, I think. Really quite proud of it. I think it's the best opener we've done, actually.
But nevertheless, Nick, what an absolutely fantastic opening. A treasure for the ages is coming. I know it was going to be April. That was a rush, which is a blessing in disguise, really, that COVID's came along and ruined a lot of Comic-Cons for a lot of people, I think. But is there any sort of time frame, or it's going to be ready when it's ready?
It'll be ready when it's ready. I am hoping for August.
Just be patient, Matthew.
Yeah. No. I mean, I get impatient waiting for these things because it's funny because, I mean, I generally do the editing on these films. And again, it's one of those things you can argue whether I do a good or bad job on the editing. I've been trying to learn color correction for this one. But I generally do the editing, so I'll have a finished cut and then I'll start sending clips out for effects and keying and things like that. And then it's a long and impatient way, and not from a kind of bad place, because I just really appreciate the work people put into these, and they do it for free and they do it in their own time. So I am happy to wait and give them time to do these things, but it's like I'm on tenterhooks. I want to see this done. I want to see this finished. Because it's exciting, and all the cast have kind of expressed as well. When you film this stuff, you don't get a sense of what it's going to be, what it's going to be like, and the end result is never really quite what you expect. A lot of these things surprise you, and a lot of things change when you're cutting it. But seeing it come together, all the visuals, all the effects, the sound, the score adds so much to these things. At the sound of it, when you see it all together, when you've produced something like this, when you've been in it, when you've made it, for everybody, it's just really exciting. Other people might hate it. Other people might think it's sad and pathetic. That's fine. At the end of the day, we do this stuff because we enjoy doing it, and it's for us.
Exactly.
And for us, the reward is in seeing our work realized. If other people like it, that's great, and we love when other people like it. If other people don't like it, that's fine. Just, move on. We don't mind. We don't expect you to think we're amazing or anything like that. It's fine. I mean, you had done, oh God, I've forgotten his name now. Gary. You had Gary on the other day with the Chumbawamba video. And, I'm very open to, I like to think I'm very open to criticism, but criticism always smart. So constructive criticism is absolutely important. And I think all of us, most of us maybe, think that constructive criticism is something we should listen to and pay attention to and learn from. And we do always try. We don't always succeed, but we try. Some criticism is not always constructive. If someone comes in with drive-bys, that sucks. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I'm not going to pay attention to someone that says this sucks because it's not constructive and it doesn't tell me anything. Yeah. What do you think sucks? Is it the writing? Is it the acting? Is it the costumes? Is it the effects? It can't be the effects. But, the writing, the acting, those are things we often get criticized for. That's fine. Tell us what you don't like about it, how it affects you. Now, there's going to be something like, oh, well, you had a character, we've got a scene cut from another episode that we shot years and years ago that's got a same-sex marriage in it. And we did get a little bit of abuse on that one. And I'm kind of like, you know what? If your criticism is that you don't like something like that, move on. Don't watch it.
Exactly.
I'm not sure what my point was there. I like to ramble, but
Well, I think too, it's very interesting because Gary mentioned this as well with the Chumbawamba song. One of the criticisms, and I'm not sure how often this comes up for him, but his physical appearance is brought up as a criticism, which he takes on the chin, which is an absolutely fantastic approach to have. In that he acknowledges he's not the model staff. He's not the William Shatner in his prime.
None of us are.
None of us are. And I think that it goes back to that fan film. It's all about those little rough edges, because it's there as a labour of love, not a professional production, and that's the biggest key. And I think that's where a lot of people continue making fan films. And I'm looking at making another one. I made one a couple of years. I can't believe it was 2 years ago. But looking at that as well. And I mean, I work in television here in Australia, and my production was still pretty rough around the edges. It just goes to show what a budget does. And with these fan films, you don't have it. So,
I mean, you have
like
to cut
them or don't,
corners.
but you don't have to tell us that you're.
I've had people posting. I've had people pasting our film, commenting on our film, saying I'm fat. I mean, yeah, I am a bit overweight, but really, seriously. So
if that's the best you've got.
I loved I loved that little video Gary put together, and I think there's a lot of point. The only thing I would like to see him slow that down a little bit. There you go, constructive criticism, because I had to keep pausing it to read the comments. But no, it was a great video, and the spirit behind that really kind of exemplifies what fan films are about. We have fun. If you don't like it, that's okay.
Exactly
we don't mind.
Right. Are they birds in the background, by the way, Nick? Are we hearing seagulls?
Oh yeah, those are seagulls. I have this window in my office. It's open at the moment. Yeah,
it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I love it. It's 9:00
I
at
am
night,
not
but the
far
seagulls
from,
are
I am
flying.
not far from the river. We have in Dundee, where I live, there's the River Tay here. It's a tidal river, so we're actually not far from the coast. So we had seagulls up, lots and lots of seagulls. We've got docks here and things like that, which, funnily enough, is why we have the RRS Discovery here. So yeah, it's seagulls.
One last thing that I wanted to mention. I'm pretty sure, and you've just reminded me again a couple of times throughout this show. I did mention. I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the opener that I said you were standing by in London. Of course, you are in Dundee, in Scotland, and it's quite offensive to say that you're in London.
No, I'm from London, so that's probably what you're thinking of. I am a Londoner by birth.
It's London time. That's what it is.
Yeah, I am adopted Scots, but I'm Londoner by birth.
Fantastic, Nick. Well, A Treasure for the Ages is coming soon. You can't rush out. I'm pretty sure I said that to you back in January as well. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to this final cut. And we're going to have you back again once it's premiered, all right?
Please do. I'd love to be on again. Always have a good time on your show.
Fantastic, Nick. Thanks for having a Trekzone Conversation. We'll see you soon.
Take it easy, folks. Bye for now.